quite sure when Capri, you know, you guys move around, you're gonna see more people in Brooklyn. You're gonna meet more people that are just as enthused with about doing something. But in the end, it's always the financial push, the nonprofit, the what are we doing collectively, and we can't worry about the negative because that's always going to exist. It's French to those who don't understand, or those who do understand and just turn their backs. And we can't be upset because we really can't make people change. They have to want to change themselves. You have to want to change yourself from within. I have to want to change myself from within. I have to know that it's okay to make mistakes, not be judged, but to learn from that and just try to show, because you can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do. And we have a hard time with that, us.
Very true.
Just us. We really do.
We do. And I hope, I mean...
I'm older than you, I know I am.
Maybe.
So maybe, I know I am. You're my age. It's not that it matters. It's just that we want our youth, we want our even adults, we want our race as a whole to understand that we are gifted, we can achieve, we can do things, and we have to realize by not blaming or pointing fingers when it comes to economical things of that nature, we can do collectively if we knew how to come together.
Right. So we're about to teach them how to come together.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
We need to change the thought processes. We need to get them. We cannot save everybody. We can't save every child. We can't save every sister. We can't save every brother. But we can try. And trying, actively taking action is a little bit better than sitting behind your computer complaining about what's going on in the world. You can complain all day. You can talk about what you want to do, but if you don't get up and try, then we're never going to know if it's going to work or not. If we save 10 children out of 20, 10 children out of 30, that's better than no children. That might be 10 that is not homeless. That might be 5 that we can put through college. It might be, and really it's about giving a child hope, so they have confidence in their self. So they feel their self-image and the way they look at themselves changes, because if they're constantly hearing the negative from home all day, they're not going to think they're worth anything. B's
and H's and F words.
Yeah, and it's little babies that are hearing this.
I saw a picture on Facebook today. A little, like 2-year-old girl had on, you know, Burberry? Yeah. She had on a Burberry swimsuit, sticking her butt out. Little 2-3-year-old girl, like they must have took 4 or 5 pictures of her like this, an expose in a Burberry. Like, these are our babies now.
Right.
When you begin to whore your children out,
right,
your society has no future.
Right.
The Mayans, you know, they did blood sacrifices on their babies, and where are they now? You know, they could be advanced, they could read the star charts, they could build a building that could tell you when it's time to plant your food, but they didn't have the decency to know that little babies should not be blood sacrificed to the sun god. The sun is still shining the same way, but the Mayans are gone. You know, I just wanted to share that, you know? You know?
You do see it, and you see it a lot on Facebook. I mean, with the internet, you see everything, and it's sad. And when I step to you as a sister and I say, why are you doing that with your child? Why do you talk to your child that way? Then I'm the B and the H, because I have no right to tell you how to raise your child. When I knock at your door and I say your son is doing such and such and such,
mind your business.
Mind your business. And then she slams, if she don't want to whoop my behind in the street. It could be that too. But
goes back to the communication, right, Fred?
Communication. We do not care about the next person's child, and we have to change that, because you're going to care when you're 60 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old, you're in a nursing home, and these children are taking care of us. This is my thing. My son's got to take care of me when I get older. I have no other children, or my nieces and nephews. All of them, I'm not going to fear living in your house, or you living in my house, or you throwing me in a nursing home because you don't know how to deal with me or what is going on. So it's for me to make sure that you're at that level mentally, to want to care about your grandparents, to want to care about your mother and father. At the same time, we have to reverse that. The grandparents are raising the children. They care about the children, but they may be overwhelmed and overburdened because they've lived their life. They've raised their children. My mother is raising my brother's children. Please don't put this on Facebook. But she does it out because she knows that he's got 7 of them.
Okay.
So if they're at home and they're latchkey kids, what are they learning? Whatever's on MTV and BET. So she brings them all to her place. They stay with her Monday through Friday, and they go home on the weekends. But my thing is, if we take a child and we work with that child and we send them home back to the same environment that they came from, what is going to happen to that child? All the work we work with him all week, it's undone because the mother or the father or the uncle or the auntie or the grandmother or whatever it may be is just still in that dysfunctional mindset. So we have to work with the entire unit. I'm a psychology major. I was a psychology major. I chose to go into marriage and family therapy because of that reason. Psychologists and psychiatrists focus on the individual and not the family. They look at the family as the enemy, and they really try to teach that individual to be an individual and stand up for yourself. You got your own backbone and forget about them. Marriage and family therapists will individualize the family pieces because the sum of the parts makes the whole. But the whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
Okay.
Okay? So the whole family is greater than one individual.
Okay. That's really
So
sickening
mom,
what you
pop,
just told me.
Children together, and okay, you got this issue and you got this issue, but this is what's happening. You're feeding him and he's feeding her and she's feeding. It's all dysfunction and it's a sick intergenerational sickness.
You got my stomach almost messed up, like seriously, because you know what it is? You know, not for nothing, you know, I'm going through my little marital strife, you know? Not that this is necessarily for public consumption, but one thing that's been known about me is Caprice don't hide. You know what I'm saying? I keep it 100 funky. They done see me going into the shelter, and they see me coming out the shelter. They've seen me cry and laugh. They've even seen me naked on some videos where I had to take those videos down because, you know, I represent higher ideals now. But the point is, I'm going through my little marital strife, and I remember my wife mentioned to me, well, maybe we should go see a therapist, right? And I know about this immoral situation in this world that these therapists, see, you just gave me a whole different angle on it. Because my thing is, I'm like the same therapist that I'm bleeding my heart out to, he'll be the same one calling you and trying to holler at you after brainwashing both of us. And now that you just told me about how the industry turns families into individuals for the sake of therapy, that's even worse.
And it's not just for the sake of therapy, but it's for the sake of money because
wow.
Psychiatrists, any therapist in the mental health field cannot get paid off the family. Managed healthcare has really, mental health services has taken a hit from the managed healthcare. So what the managed healthcare systems are saying is we will treat him as an individual. But we can't do extended family therapies for 4 and 5 people, or sometimes 6 and 7. So a lot of the marriage and family therapists, we're not in this for the money. The top dollar amount we probably make, unless you are in your own practice and have an established practice, is about $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year. It just depends on where you're at, where you're living, and the economy. They created marriage and family therapy, the marriage and family therapy line, because they seen the benefit of working with the entire family and how they could help that one individual that might be having problems, but that one individual who has, what do they have a new now? New conduct disorder they got out now. The boys
every day is something new.
Every day is a new disorder, but when a child at home is acting up, then the mother is going to do what she's got to do to keep that child calm, cool, and collected. Spoil it, give it whatever he wants, take him to the park, take him down.
How about psychotropic drugs?
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. That's a whole nother Pandora's box.
And that's another issue I have, is because a lot of these doctors that are prescribing that medications for ADHD and ADD and other conduct disorder and all kinds of other stuff, that Ritalin, they're taking Ritalin and Adderall and Concerta, are not mental health professionals. They're family doctors. They're pediatricians. They do not have, they have the authority to write the prescription, but they're not trained in mental health whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay, so it's deep and it's big, and we're just gonna have to jump in head first. That's the only thing we can do at this point.
Okay.